Welcome to the Parlor Car Podcast, where I wasn't taking a nap just now. So as many of you are probably already aware, the last couple of podcasts have been slightly off the beaten path, only because of the fact that the show wasn't over yet for the US. We didn't want to spoil anything for MLP. So now that it is, we can open our mouths and talk about what we wanted to talk about. I'm here.
Hello? Can you hear me? Hello? Am I here?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yes, I'm here! But I missed everything. Who died?
Nobody. And no, you haven't missed anything. You just got here on time. So now that you're here and I did the introduction,
no.
Okay, why don't you start off?
Okay. Welcome to the Railroad Bronies ASMR session.
Wait, what?
Choo choo. Choo choo. The end. Thank you for tuning in. Everybody. We are now going to close off the podcast. My name is DGaribalde, and this is a Steam Tank. My co-host Mecha Flyer and Ace the Random. Nice for tuning in, and we will see you all next week. Bye.
What?
What just happened?
What?
I
think that was a podcast.
I don't think it's supposed to go that way.
Best podcast ever.
Oh, jeez. Okay. So, aside from candy wrappers, vegetables, naps, and
Ritz crackers.
Crackers? Well, crackers. I want crackers.
And
I have Ritz crackers.
And popcorn.
Buttery.
No, I got something better than that. I got Jack in the Box.
You go enjoy your Jack in the Crack.
Jack in the Crack? No. I don't do that stuff. I know where that road takes you, man. I know you really get involved, man. You fall out, man. You know, you really be a drag, man. So I just don't go down that road. You know, it's a real drag.
Man, Jack in the Box so bad, like you would not believe.
Oh man, and Boston just won the World Series.
Yep, saw that coming.
Hey, at least it didn't drag on for another 17-inning game, was it? However long they were going at.
It was 18 innings.
18 innings at like almost 7.5 hours.
Yeah.
Anyway, aside from sports and stuff, let's talk about MLP. I know, Mecha, you haven't seen much of anything because you've been really behind.
Yes. Well, I've been really busy.
Really.
I think the last thing you saw was like what, the end of season 6?
No, I've seen season 7.
Oh, okay.
I just haven't had the opportunity to start on season 8 yet.
So you didn't
look at their
Christmas special yesterday, then?
Oh,
I haven't seen.
Oh yeah, I missed that too.
Wait, it was.
Am I the only one that saw it then?
What? It was yesterday? No.
Yes.
No.
Yesterday.
I think you were. I didn't even know it was yesterday.
I didn't even know what was going on. That's how out of the loop I am.
You guys, Equestria Daily site more. They have all those announcements, and as it is, that's really the last announcement for schedule we have until season 9 is finally announced.
You know, the one thing I've been curious about is where the heck is that supposed Equestria Girls, like, either episode or movie where it involves Sunset, Dash, and Twilight. I want to see that. I remember the Comic-Con.
Yeah, I remember seeing that too. Where was that? Where is it?
And I wanted to see that. That was interesting. Supposedly they went to the Pony World.
Probably a summer 2019 thing.
Why must they pull on the heartstrings of time?
My bet is something like that would probably be that last little layover bit between Gen 4 and Gen 5.
Maybe.
But we're not Gen 5 today. We're talking about Gen 4. Let's start in with that season finale. Has everybody at least caught up with that? Except
I got that finale. The finale. Let's talk about it. Tell me.
Yes, the finale.
It definitely feels like season by season, with the exception of last season, which is kind of weird. But all the other ones, the bad guys seem to get closer and closer and closer to literally completing the ultimate goal, within inches of completing it. And this one was done by a filly, and she was surrounded by every ounce of military might in Equestria to finally stop her. That is probably the heaviest this has ever gotten. Yeah, a lot of people might gripe about the whole Student 6 thing, but honestly, I was really impressed and loved the fact that at the ending, it was literally the entirety of the U.S. Army equivalent surrounding this one little horse like, you screwed up. Sit down.
I love that. I love it.
The equivalent of the entire military, FBI, Secret Service, CIA, and police department combined. Yeah. That's like the end of the Blues Brothers right there.
It's like all these militaries just surround one little shack. They blow in the door. They look at this fat neckbeard on a computer hacking away at the internet with a greasy burger in his hand like, I didn't mean to do it, man. I'm just having fun. You're under arrest.
It's pretty much that. But not only that they're getting closer and closer to the actual goal, but the villains are getting closer and closer and closer to the heroes.
That too.
I swear, if Twilight doesn't become the all-know and tell-all villain of season 9, then I call shenanigans.
Wait, like, Twilight?
Yeah. Like, can you imagine Twilight actually being the evil one?
Well, I mean, if the artwork is anything to go off of, I suspect they'll keep the main 6 just with different roles. I mean, if anything, I'd suspect they'd bring over previous villains. If Tyrek is anything to go by, somebody from the original show who was brought back for Gen 4.
No, but figure when you think of it this way, can you imagine if Twilight became evil? Like, can you imagine if the Alicorn magic overtook her in some way and made her evil like Sombra did? Because isn't Alicorn magic like an evil sort of magic?
Yeah, no. In a sense.
It could be. It could be overbearing, but it's not necessarily evil per se.
The other thing is whether or not it carries over everything from Gen 4. She's got all her friends surrounding her, as well as, to a sense right now, Starlight Glimmer kind of helping to balance out some of it. There's no two ways about it. Starlight is very strong. The fact that she was overtaken by some little filly who thought she could overtake the world through the power of friendship is a little out of the question. But other than that, Twilight sort of has these safeguards to almost keep her in check and try and keep her mind on the straight and narrow rather than just letting everything overwhelm her.
Very true. But nonetheless, I mean, I would like to see a point, because I remember during the last episode, or the last two eps, maybe it wasn't the last two, but the one episode where the student 6 had became a prisoner of the tree for a short time, and they had to pass those tests. And that kind of reminded me of what like an evil Twilight would be, because if they didn't pass, they were going to be stuck there forever.
Yep.
Yeah, that one holds a lot of dark undertones, and I see people take it all kinds of different ways on that one. That whole episode was a little weird.
I loved it. I loved that one, though. I loved it.
Yeah, I kind of loved it too. If anything, it could have been a lot darker.
Mm-hmm.
Although, if we're talking the second half of the season, everybody knows what episode was the best one.
Yeah.
Garrett's.
Mm-hmm.
I believe the song in the Kieran episode have to be on par with the duet between Trixie and Starlight.
Yes, totally.
Both those songs were just as catchy. And I probably had them on repeat for the better part of like a month and a half now.
I'm not joking. We drive places and he just throws on his music, and it's the same damn song over and over and over and over and over. It's like, this is an hour-long drive, and we've been playing the same song, and I'm losing my mind.
Oh, come on. It's not like our mix the shooting star that I put.
No, but he speaks truth. I figure once I get a catchy song in my head, I will listen to it until I cannot stand it no more.
Like,
takes a long time.
Start of the song with the whole la 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 part, that almost lost me, but you push past the rough parts and into the smooth sailing, and that song was killing it.
Uh-huh.
God, I could rewatch that episode not only because Autumn Blaze was absolutely adorable, but because that song had such a great tone and such a great message to it.
And also,
those who watch the Christmas special, you'd see the same thing again.
Also, I want to add something. The Kieran episode. I know that I have Sunset Shimmer as my waifu. Maybe I might have two now.
Dibs on Autumn. Back off, Jack.
No. I said it first on the podcast, so sorry.
You have your bacon main. I'll take the cute Kieran.
No. I said it first on the podcast, so next time we see each other, we're gonna have a long discussion.
Oh, I'd be glad to discuss this one.
Yeah, we'll do it on a panel at BabsCon, okay? We'll do it at a panel, okay? And we can discuss it and make it official. Yes. Yeah, but, I called dibs. I called dibs on that already. Sorry, I said it first.
You have bacon or you have dragon. Take your pick. Not both.
Both. It's called NOS. It's called NOS. You get both of them in the drink of NOS. And Steam Tank knows this for a fact.
One option. On an electronic survey, you cannot click both buttons at once. You can only push one.
Yeah, you push the easy button. Duh. You get both.
There is no third button.
I just want to let you know. Both. I just want to know.
There's only one rule about Fight Club. You don't talk about Fight Club.
No, there's only one rule about Fortnite. You don't play Fortnite.
That I will.
I'm a terrible.
Moving onward.
Chat, let's see. Message from chat. Chat says pudding.
Pudding?
Which you have no idea.
I like where this is going.
Exactly what he
says pudding.
He's got the right idea. I like where this is going.
Yes.
Tell me more.
Okay.
Let's just say Christmas is pudding.
You know who would agree with you? The Grinch. The Grinch believes Christmas is pudding. Disgusting pudding. Pudding sucks, okay? You know, let me tell you something about pudding, all right? There should be a proposition in the California state vote, or whatever you call it in politics, that, you know, that pudding should be illegal, you know, especially the one made from Jell-O. You know, the company Jell-O. Come on, pudding. How do you get pudding from Jell-O? Jell-O is Jell-O. It's not a pudding. It's Jell-O. How does that even think? That should be illegal. Make a proposition, people. Make it illegal. Come on, vote on it. Do your civil duty and vote on it. Proposition
Gary.
Jell-O.
Gary.
I don't think you're thinking of pudding. I think you're thinking of tapioca.
I don't give a. It's pudding.
Gary.
Pudding. What?
This isn't the tipsy hour.
I don't. I'm eating Jack in the Box. I get tipsy.
Enjoy your crack and jacks.
But I'm putting French fries on chicken sandwiches. That makes it not crap.
That makes it an all-in-one meal.
Crack and a jack.
The only way it gets better is the chicken sandwich, and then you dunk that in the soda. That's everything.
Yeah, it's true.
Chicken sandwich and soda. Yeah, I'm not gonna.
That reminds me too much of our friend Robert, who likes to go to Wendy's and dunk the chicken nuggets in the Frosties.
I've heard of people who do that with the French fries, and they swear it's the greatest thing in the world. I am curious to try it.
He does it with the chicken nuggets. I'm not joking.
French fries, yes. Chicken nuggets, that's another thing.
But just look what they do with Lunchables. You know, they get the nacho cheese. And because back when I was in elementary school, I used to get the nacho cheese chicken nuggets. The chicken nugget, whatever. And what you do...
Chicken nuggets?
What?
Yeah.
What?
This is what you do with the Lunchables. You get the chicken nuggets, and it comes with this little nacho cheese powder. And you put the powder with the chicken nuggets in the little bag, and you shake it. And the powder gets mixed with the chicken nuggets, and the powder turns into this little nacho cheese. So you got the nacho cheese.
It was a coating rather than just a cheese.
Yeah.
And if I'm at all honest, they were rather disgusting. Why? Because cold nuggets are terrible.
I actually liked it.
The only way to eat that is to open it up, pour the cheese on it, look at it, get up, drop it in the trash can, and evaluate your life.
And then hate yourself for spending money on such things.
And then go out and go buy some real chicken and go to Taco Bell and get some Taco Bell cheese, because that's the only type of cheese that should go on anything else.
No, that will work better. I know one that works perfect for that kind of cheese. Velveeta. You get Velveeta nacho cheese, chop it up, put some in a small bowl, melt it, and that is the perfect nacho cheese.
He's onto something here. He's really onto something here.
Yes.
It's very soft cheese. It cuts with a knife so easy, and it melts so smooth.
We're getting off topic by food. We're gonna have people getting hungry while they watch this.
I don't care.
Well, I mean, most people listen to podcasts while they're on the pot or while they're smoking pot. So,
yeah, good point.
We should do food posts, so like the Semi-Perfect Podcast.
But going back to MLP though, that
they look like
finale,
jelly
though,
beans that you can eat. MLP.
Wait.
Yeah.
Finale doesn't look like jelly beans.
No, but they do look like jelly beans. You know, the ponies, they look like jelly beans that you can eat. You know, the pastel colored ponies, you know, they remind you of jelly beans. You know, the bodies are drawn like little jelly beans, just two circles, and then you make it into one body, and just like a little jelly bean. That's why some pony drawings are so terrible, because when you first start off, you try to draw a jelly bean. So just think about it, they actually are jelly beans. That is
I think anything sugar
ruined jelly beans for me.
Jelly bean.
Just like you guys ruined cupcakes.
You better get ready to die, because here we go.
I know we may be looking for content to not bring cupcakes into this.
I'm gonna send that picture into the chat now, the Polycard chat. I'm gonna send it just because you just had to bring that up. You just had to bring it up. I'm gonna find it.
Torment me with that picture again.
Oh, you're gonna love it, Ace. You're gonna love it, Ace. Let me find it.
I've seen most everything having to do with that horror show. You don't need to bring anything else back. We'll block you on Discord.
We
might as well rename Gary to Mr. Davies 2.0.
I can't even rename my.
Oh, if you're talking about Cupcakes HD, that was a whole different story. The original Cupcake story, that was just terrible.
No, we're talking about
Cupcakes HD was just because of the.
Yeah, that was beautiful. Cupcakes HD, that was beautiful.
I didn't like it, period. So.
Bam, 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 bam.
The song was catchy.
Damn stupid catchy song.
I heard that, and within the first couple times I realized that song, I gotta do it on bass. That's now one of my best bass songs I ever play, and the few times I've brought my bass out to conventions, that is one of the songs I opened with. And everybody, the tension pretty quick when they see some dude with long hair and a bass with all the VAs on it, just rocking out the Andrew WK and the happiest song of death that there ever was.
I love how he almost sings it like, what's his name, Matt? What's his name from freaking, what's that band called? God damn it, I can't remember anything right now.
Language. We need to keep this PG.
Like I said, those vegetables are making you a vegetable.
God, the jokes.
Muse, that was the band.
Steak and chicken and ramen. Ramen makes you smarter.
No, ramen makes you fat.
Fat?
No,
Who said fat?
It's the fountain of youth.
Red Robin's bottomless fries, that will make you fat, but God, are they so good.
Oh, the steak fries, yes.
Bottomless steak fries, those things are dangerous.
They are.
But hey, real quick, going back to the season finale, at the end when they have the cameras, not the camera, but the zoom in on Cozy Glow's face when she says, "Do you want to be friends?" My mind instantly went to like Halloween horror movie like Chucky. That's what Cozy Glow reminded me of, Chucky.
She's Jigsaw.
Yeah, when you say that, the first thing that comes to mind for me is, do you want to play a game?
Yes. That's what Cozy Glow reminds me of. Which you know would be a great, like a really fun but creepy event for a con is have an escape room where the VA of Cozy Glow does an imitation of Jigsaw, and you have to do the escape room with Cozy Glow's voice constantly narrating you.
Oh God, I'd just take death.
I actually do that so bad. It's like, okay, now remember, friend, now you have to take the saw and Well, now you know.
Yeah, I'll just die.
Actually, I did an escape room recently with my college class.
Oh?
An actual escape room. And you know what? You know what we had to find?
What?
We had to find 6 bags of cocaine.
Of weed?
Yeah, no, cocaine.
Oh, okay.
But we did find a weed room. It was the name of the escape room was called the Stash House.
Oh God.
Oh my God.
That's what it was called.
I'm
It's called
stash you a question.
You gotta be kidding.
Yeah.
Wait,
no,
where was this?
This is in LA. It's called the Stash House in Koreatown.
Oh God.
Yeah. It's
Oh my God.
it is so much. It is so much fun, dude. And the way it's set up is that once you start, because it goes into an apartment, and there are no red herrings, so there are no clues that lead to dead ends. Every clue you get is a clue that leads to something, and it is so much fun. Like there's a code, it opens up a door, and you don't even realize that a door was right there, and then it leads you to another door, and you're like, oh my God, it's just so much fun. But yeah, we had to find 6 bags of cocaine and flush it down the toilet. It was so much fun.
So who are you working for then? The cartel or the DEA?
Both. It was so much fun. It was for my interactive game design class. The teacher that does the class, he has a friend who does escape rooms, and his escape room is the Stash House over in LA. So we went to his escape room, and it was so much fun.
18 plus only.
Somebody needs to do a pony themed escape room.
If somebody could figure that out for Babs, that would be a hit. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but setting up a temporary escape room is kind of difficult.
Yeah, because of all the physical elements that need to go into it. Oh yeah.
Yeah. The last one I did was a James Bond themed. It's kind of funny because you start out in this like lair where everybody in the room is handcuffed to chairs, except for one person, and it's completely dark. And that one person has to find the keys in this completely dark room and free everybody. And then you have to figure out this code, which finally opens the door, and it lets you into this office. And there's all these different things in there that you got to figure out. You got to figure out from a bookshelf, the order of the books means something. Apparently, it translates into like a Morse code or something. And then you have to use the Morse code to dial into a phone. And
yeah, yep. Yeah,
and then there's a keypad on the ceiling, and you have to take the flag off the wall and use the flagpole to punch the buttons on the ceiling.
How many poke marks were in the ceiling around the keypad?
Quite a few.
Yeah, that's what
this one was in Alhambra, so it's kind
that's number 52.
Wait, we're keeping count?
No, he said how many poke holes were in the ceiling. And I said, oops, that's number 52.
Oh.
You gotta imagine, though, for that one, it must be just as hard just to get the keypad punched in just because you're trying to manipulate a flagpole. Probably harder to put the keypad in than it is to actually know the code.
Yeah, but then that's the thing, because then once you do that, it opens up a small little locker, and then you gotta like do this clock thing on the wall to get the next door open. And then once that's open, you've got to grab these items that are on the coffee table in this office and put them in a certain order in this closet that has like guns on the wall and shit. And that opens up a vault with keys. And then you got to use this like weird sliding room to get into the next area. and then that next area is like has like lasers and shit. It's hilarious. Yeah.
Man, I've never been to an escape room. I hear of a lot of people that do them, but quite frankly, if there's something I really want to try, it's get a bunch of people together, and you have two options: either go painful or more painful, airsoft or paintball.
Oh,
I'll choose paintball.
Who you're in. Escape rooms are team building. Anything with a gun, that's who you find out who your enemy is.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure a lot of us are gonna have trust issues after that. We're gonna come out covered in paint.
Yeah.
Believe me, I'm gonna be the worst person you're gonna need to take on, because I know I've told this story before, but I have been shot with a paintball gun in about the worst possible place, and still been able to walk away with it, wearing no protection.
Oh,
Have video evidence.
Right in the mommy and daddy tables.
Right in the plums.
You know what? I'll tell you this right now. Getting shot there with a paintball is nowhere near as painful as it is as excruciatingly painful as getting hit in your tailbone.
oh yeah.
No, I can say with pretty high confidence, paintball in that particular zone hurts way.
Okay, so I have a story. So this was like years ago, and this is probably like one of the second to last times before I was last paintballing. But I had went to this place somewhere in up near what's it, near Lake Castaic almost, and so we're doing a game called Speedball where you have these big blow up obstacles and you have to play around those. And so I'm here bending down, peeking between two of them, and then one of my buddies goes ahead and he goes along. He completely flanks me, goes left, gets out of my field of view. He ends up going outside the arena, going outside, comes back in through the opposite direction behind me, sneaks up behind me, legitimately stands behind my field of view for, like, no joke, about 10 minutes. Like, constantly just standing there and aiming his gun at me, right aimed at my tailbone, because my shirt was flapped up on the back, gave him a nice clean patch of skin.
Ow.
And as soon as I thought I had won and got the last guy out, all I hear is all I have is a tap on my shoulder, and I'm like, "Oh, you son of a!" And all of a sudden, it goes boink, and here I am rolling on the ground, stripping my clothes off.
Oh Jesus!
Trying to get to the spot to rub it because I couldn't get to it. I legit was rolling around in the dirt for like a good 3 minutes. What?
Well, then I guess I just take pain a lot better. I don't know. I've been hitting the tailbone before and hard, and I know it doesn't feel good. Check the Discord. I have gotten shot in the worst place. That hurt. Like, you have no idea what that full auto absolutely horrifically feels.
Huh. Yeah. Anyway.
Oh, yeah.
Aside from paintball, escape rooms, I mean, actually, going back to escape rooms though, that would be cool at BabsCon if they could do a escape room somehow.
It'd be too much to set up. It'd be way too much to set up.
They could do it though.
Anything, honestly, what they could possibly see to doing is seeing if there's something nearby the BabsCon area, an escape room nearby, because I'd imagine there's going to be something within San Francisco, and see about Babs discount code or something. That's probably the easiest way to do it, because having it in the convention location at a hotel like that is, yeah, it's just next to out of the question to try and pull off financially viably.
True.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess so, but yeah, it would be fun though to do something like that at Babs.
Yeah.
And speaking of Babs, panel applications have finally went open.
Yeah, they've gone live.
Yes.
No, not panel, a community guest. The panel application.
Community guests, but
yeah, the panel applications have been open for a while, but the community guest applications have finally gone open.
Well, that too, but panel since that's open as well, I figured we could maybe discuss a bit about BabsCon, at least a little bit, not much, because there is a future guest I want to get on here to talk even more about BabsCon in the future. Maybe the next podcast. But yeah. So in terms of like BabsCon and like panel ideas, Ace, I know you said that they try not to do like multiple panels for like the same people, but figure what I was thinking, like, do you think they would let like us do each have an individual panel for something, like maybe two?
I wouldn't be the one to call. Honestly, what I think we might be able to get away with a little more viably is, depending on where stuff gets set up, if we're able to do another layout, have almost a small ongoing display to go with that for people who want to ask questions or anything like that. Maybe not necessarily a table of speakers and everything, but almost like a sort of slightly more organized setup, almost like a panel.
Yeah.
I mean,
well, we have to see what the staff is willing to do, because there has been some changes I've noticed. I mean, I know the con chair's different, and there's a couple different faces in there now.
Well, I mean, as long as everything holds true, I think we know who the con chair is, unless something else got changed that I wasn't aware of.
I think the con chair is still the same. As far as like, because we need to get in contact with like the outreach people and the like what Baba Discord was last year.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if she's going to have the same position this year, but
that's a good question. But
because I know there's some staff changes that I saw.
Yeah.
I just don't remember who went where. But you know, I definitely would love to do another layout.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, won't guarantee bringing all the everything this round, but I'll bring something if it's ongoing.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a pretty big hit last year, so I can't imagine it.
Yeah, I want to do. Yeah, I want to do the train layout again.
Yeah, well, figure this much: the best thing about the layout thing is that it can change its appearance like constantly. There's always a different type of way to do it.
Honestly, the only limit at that point is just space.
Yeah. It needs to be bigger. Make it bigger.
I actually had this neat little idea, but I have to get. Not only do I need to contact somebody on the staff first, but before I submit the idea, it as well. But I also need to contact a few other people to see about organizing it and getting a group together to do it. But as you probably know, with high octane and all that, as much as there is a following for trains in the Brony fandom, there's a huge following for cars as well. And I just so happen to know like more than a few Bronies that have classic cars or really cool looking race like cars. And they were like playing with the idea of maybe doing like a small mini car like show at BabsCon somehow.
The trick with that is going to be finding a place for it, because as you know, there's the front roundabout, that tiny little parking lot, the parking garage, and then whatever's going across the street, although that's more business parking than an actual car show area.
Yeah.
And usually conventions like to keep it within the building.
Yeah.
I mean, figure this much. The way I see it is I know the hotel probably wouldn't want it in the roundabout area. However, if they have like a small parking lot either on top of the parking structure or maybe around the back of the hotel or something that people could easily get to from going out one door or something, it could probably be done. But they would have to like
I can tell you this much from
reserve the spots.
There is no real parking spots or access areas behind the hotel. That's all like just dumpsters and everything. You can see that on Google Earth. And out front, the two parking lots they have are, I think, for handicap and valet, and that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, everything else is in that structure.
Yeah, everything there is there for a reason. There's no place that you can actually use for a car show or show area. Everything is there for a reason and is being used for a reason. That's the only part.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's the other hard part. Is finding the right location and also having how many people would be willing to participate in that too.
Yeah.
Because I know that my truck will be finished possibly by January, if not sooner. Assuming if I can get all the parts necessary by Christmas.
Schedule right along.
Huh?
Yeah.
Bumping the schedule right along from something I'd heard.
Yeah. That from what happened then, I was told that I shouldn't have to worry about it. So I'm going with my original plan still.
Alrighty. Sounds like it's going to be a rock star show then.
Yeah. And yeah. But aside from that and stuff, that is something that I want to try to do maybe on the side. If I can try to get that pulled together with some people. Because I think that'd also be pretty cool too. You know, it doesn't even have to be long. It could be something that maybe lasts about like 30 minutes, maybe an hour, depending on how many people go.
The trick at that point, getting the truck and all the railroad bronies stuff, all the train stuff up to San Francisco at that point.
Yeah.
Well, figure with that truck and the fact that a lot of the RRB probably won't be going as in such mass as they did this year. As far as I'm aware, Spiral is staying down here because he's saving his budget for Big Boy. So he probably won't be going. And so and if anyone else is gonna go, I haven't heard from anyone else, but so far it's a definite yes for me, Mecha and Gary.
Yeah, Buffers isn't gonna go. He said he needs to save up vacation time.
Apparently he wants to go to Germany.
Yeah, he's gonna go to Germany. I'm gonna join them.
Aus Deutschland?
Yes.
Wait, you're gonna go too?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with them. He invited me.
Oh, well, he technically invited anybody to go with him, but
I don't have that kind of money to go out of the country right now.
nobody has that kind of money right now.
Yeah, with the plan I have within the next year is I don't have any money for any travel but this one travel idea thingy.
Yeah, but yeah, that's cool. But yeah, I'd figure between my truck and Gary's truck, I mean, if anything, between the two, I mean, figure my truck bed is bigger than any modern day truck bed, so it could probably carry everything and not whine about it.
Are you cutting out any part of the truck bed for the tires for your?
Nope.
You staying small tire?
Oh no, I have large wheel. I have factory large wheel wells, so I could fit like a size 17 under there and be fine.
Good deal.
Yeah, it's huge wheel well openings. But yeah, it's a long bed, so you know.
Wait, you said you're going with the Power Glide though, right?
No.
All right, because Power Glide on the highway is not exactly fun.
I'm going with a T56 Magnum.
Ooh, that'll work.
Yep.
The same transmission that they have in the Viper.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, so it'll be able to do it, no problem. It's just a matter of getting it done and doing it. But anyway, so yeah, but figure going back to like BabsCon and stuff, for like BabsCon like ideas, like I'm still trying to figure out like what we are gonna do for like panel wise, because I do know that like what do you call it, internet wise, the hotel isn't exactly the greatest for internet.
Yeah, a lot of panels I see, they more focus on what's going on right there or bring videos downloaded rather than focusing on stuff from online.
Yeah. I had the idea of maybe doing a live like a live taping of the parlor car. But then I thought like, well, how am I gonna stream it?
No, you know what? I got an idea. How about we do the Parlor Car podcast panel and just record that panel?
Kind of like how Keith does their stuff live and then they take the video and they upload it to YouTube later.
Yeah, how about we just do that? Do the Parlor Car podcast. Don't live stream it, but just record it and just have it the Parlor Car podcast panel. That's perfect.
You can do that.
Yeah, it's perfect. Yeah, it's simplified and plus it's fun because it's not overcomplicated. Like, you know, the Parlor Car podcast, it's all about just talking random stuff and having fun. That's perfect.
Yeah, so we have a Railroad Bronies panel and we have Parlor Car podcast.
Or just Parlor Car podcast panel, because the Parlor Car podcast, it's just a bunch of, you can do whatever we want on the Parlor Car podcast panel because it's the Parlor Car podcast, you know? So it's perfect. It's perfect. The panel can be the Parlor Car podcast panel.
Okay. I just had the most like genius idea for that, which would be really cool, is if the hotel would actually play along with the idea, is strictly for our panel, have the room set up with the tables, of course, at the end, of course, but instead of the individual chairs, have them put like the chairs plus a little table with like water and little snacks on it, like candy or something. And
we can make that
into a parlor car.
We can make that work because, you know, they give us time to set up, so we could actually do something with that. Because you remember,
you
want to do, let's do that.
Parlor car, yeah.
Yeah, let's do the Polycar podcast for the panel at BabsCon. You want to do that?
Yeah.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, I like that.
Plus, it's a very interactive thing.
Yeah.
And you know, my lesson from the last 2 panels we've done is I know people love to interact.
Yeah.
The thing
that we're past the point where it's like people know who we are now, so we don't have to like introduce ourselves and explain what we do. You know, we can go off on tangents and stuff like that.
Yeah.
The trick at that point is making sure though that we have enough time, because usually the Parlor Car podcast lasts an hour and a half to 2 hours.
Well, it's
an hour and a half to 2 hours.
Well, it's okay because it's just the length of the panel. It doesn't have to be 2 hours or something. It's or just half an hour. It just needs to be the length of the time slot that they give us. So, you know,
however, if let's say this much, if for instance they happen to have an extra slot open for an extra hour, and if they were kind enough to, let's say, give us that hour if they wanted to, then we could make it a full length. But I think maybe like an hour and a half would be just good enough, if anything.
Yeah.
Well, I figure the longest I've seen the panels there are about an hour.
Yeah.
So we'd have to condense to like an hour.
Yeah, I think the really, really long that are 2 hours are only because they're for the VA panel.
Yeah.
But
I got an idea. I got another idea.
But we would have to structure it, you know.
No, I got another idea. This is a good idea. And also, because like I know there are other rail fans of in the Brony fandom, you know, like the Wilstonator, you know, he likes trains too. Like,
he's been to every single one of our panels.
No, you know, like if he's at BabsCon again next year or something, we can ask him if he wants to be on there. Or you know, any other community guests that are there, ask BabsCon to see if they want to be on our panel when we submit the panel. You know, have other people come on the panel and just chat, be random, that type of thing. That's another cool thing about this podcast.
Yeah. Actually, you know, it'd be an even cooler idea is if each of, because if we make it look like a actual like little dining area almost like a figure. Well, what we could do is we could put a microphone at those areas, or for instance, we could have somebody go around with a microphone. In fact,
we could all get dressed up.
I don't know about that. Maybe you could get dressed up.
No, because it's a parlor car, you know, just kind of like parlor car, you know, the business people. Just like, you know how Mecha at EQLA, you wore that jacket, the suit type thing?
The sports coat?
Yeah, you know, something like that.
I didn't have a tie on. I was wearing a sports coat. Actually, well, I was going to wear a sports coat for the other panel too, but then we had the T-shirts.
Yeah, but you know, how about we do that? Wear something like that to make us look, you know, business or, you know, parlor car type thing. You know, just wear a funny tie or something, you know?
I actually, you know what? I say, okay, how about this? Here's the idea. So we need to find somebody who wants to be like the introductory host. The introductory host will wear the fancy attire, but how about we do this? How about the rest of us dress full-blown railroad attire?
Okay, I'm good with that.
Dude.
Hard hat, coveralls, maybe a business suit, and then like have like little buttons or patches for our favorite railroads or something. Or we can even make something up. We can maybe. Actually, you know what? I wonder if there's somebody who makes patches from scratch, and maybe we can have them like embroider like
the
emblem patch or like an emblem or something for like equestrian railroads or something. You know. I actually had a pun a while back on Equestria's railroads, and I made up the pun between pretty much ponifying Union Pacific as Equestrian Pacific. or was it? Oh no, it was Union Equestria. Probably has Starlight Glimmer leading that railroad. But yeah. So that was the little puns that I played, and maybe we can actually use that as like a cosplay deal for the
I like that. I like.
And then what we could do is instead of we could start off sitting down, and then what we could do is we could actually each have like a wireless mic. If they can supply us with wireless mics, that'd be better, because then we can actually get up, walk around, and interact.
I'm gonna tell you right now, that's enough. They save those for the main room, and any AV's worst nightmare is independent wireless mics for the different rooms. All the smaller rooms only get wired mics.
Yeah.
I've been doing BabsCon every year so far. I have never seen wireless mics in the smaller panel room.
Yeah.
Guess I'll have to bring our own. I could probably get them too. They're not that expensive, and they're practically easy to set up. They go off of infrared, so not infrared, but like Bluetooth wireless signal. They just gotta connect into the microphone port. That's all.
Yeah, I'd see about trying to get a hold of their E department for that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, figure if they'd be willing to help out with that, great. Yeah. If not, well, I could probably see what I can do. Maybe hit up Guitar Center during the holiday seasons and see if they're getting rid of any or something, or check some of the local shops, see if they'd be willing to let me borrow any.
Yeah.
But I could probably make it work.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I'll be right back. Gary, I'll let you continue about BabsCon stuff, possible ideas and stuff for it. I'll be right back.
I'm going to derail that little idea, and I'm going to take the reins on this one.
Okay.
Gary.
Yes.
How much would it take you to get your little steamer up to BabsCon just for display?
Well, actually, I had not my steamer, but something else in mind to take up to BabsCon.
Is it big?
Yes, it is 7.5-inch gauge.
That'll work. What's we got?
Ooh, excuse me. Hang on a second. I need to pour myself another glass of pink lemonade. Sing a song or something.
That's an odd order.
I said sing a song. I'm pouring my lemonade.
I don't have a song right now.
So instead, I'll just quote Bill Wirt.
That's a human person.
Sun is a deadly laser.
Not anymore, there's a blanket.
That was perfect.
No. There you go, like this. Carrots are good for your eyes. Carrots are good for your eyes.
What?
You lied to me. You know the Aztec movie?
No, I'm just quoting the modern version of YouTube meta. I mean, let's face it, Bill Wirtz is Knooshk, and that's about what everybody. It's like everybody loves me now because every time I go into a new chat, Knooshk.
That's a human person.
Yeah. So the more we bring, like, don't get me wrong. Last year we had a full table. I'll still remember that. We had just about every size of train and model you could imagine. Honestly, I'm surprised nobody had brought along a knuckle coupler to sit on the table while we were at it.
Yeah.
I could have done that, but there was no room.
Yeah, I don't think those tables will support just the 80-pound knuckle, let alone the whole thing.
Well, I sat on one of those tables, so if it can support me 190 pounds, it can support an 80-pound coupler.
The 80-pound part, that's just the knuckle. That's the small
that's not
part.
even the full coupler. The full coupler is probably over 200 something, not close to 300.
I'd probably put it 300 plus. That thing is solid steel.
Yeah.
Steam Tank, get over here and sit on the table. We need to see if it can hold a couple of weights. And hold on to Steam Tank, sit on the table, and John, you sit on top of his lap. We gotta see if he'll support the couple of weights. I'm so sorry, you guys.
Yeah, like I don't know. Steam Tank wants to do the Parlor Car podcast. I think we all do.
Yeah.
I think though we might be able to put them into a 2-panel option, like one within the first day or two for the standard Railroad Bronies panel, like was last year, and then on a different day later in the evening, like 7, 8 o'clock, whenever you try and get in the Railroad Bronies podcast. That way it's a little closer to the normal time, as well as, I mean, as much as I hate to do this kind of comparison, we've seen other people who have gotten multiple panels that they have hosted. So why not us?
True.
Or we could do an 18 plus thing, because the Parlor Car podcast.
I don't think we want a podcast hour of just sheerly buzzed out.
Yeah, I know.
Believe you me, if we get Peter New and Bill Newton in there, I'm sure they'd love to do that. But I mean,
not anymore. There's a blanket.
You could make a religion out of this.
No, don't.
Pacific Hold on. Fight. Extinction ball. Boom. Boom.
Boom. No, but Ace, what you were saying earlier. What you were
Hooks
saying
and stuff.
No, what you were saying earlier about bringing a train up to Babscon, my 7.5-inch gauge.
Yes.
And I can't bring my steam engine, but in about a month, I will be going down to Riverside, and hopefully I will be getting a train car, a caboose, and that is only 3 feet long, and hopefully I will be able to possibly maybe transport up to Babscon if I.
Well, I mean, I was doing some research on it for reasons we'll talk about in a little bit, but some of those cars don't weigh that much. I think some of them weigh up to 300 pounds. The lightest ones, though, are only about 75 pounds.
Well,
yeah,
figure this much. His engine, I could deadlift it up. It's not that heavy.
He's talking boost though, small freight.
A small car. Oh no, that's not that heavy. It figured the main thing that's heavy on it is the trucks, because the trucks are heavy on those because they're lightweight cars.
Yeah.
But in terms of his engine really isn't all that heavy. In fact, if
I could probably lift his engine. Hell, I've deadlifted 305 pounds the wrong way.
Gary, all due respect to your cliche, but your cliche can easily derail. I've seen it.
Yeah. Well, no, not so much the cliche. Actually, the locomotive itself, just the steam engine, the cliche, that has never derailed. What's derailed is the riding car, not the engine, but the riding car.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the cliche is actually designed for very bad track, and the cliche engine does that very, very well. It has not derailed on me once. The only times it has come off the track is when I'm moving it on the transfer table and the track is not aligned. But it's always the riding car that derails. It's not the locomotive. It's a good engine.
Well, figure this much. How about this? If in the event that if we could theoretically bring it, if I was able to get my other truck running, maybe I could haul most of the train stuff, and then you could simply fit just the cliche, not the tender, but just the cliche itself with one piece of track for it in the back of your truck. Because then we could actually, like, with me and John and Ace, I mean, the three of us could lift that thing down. That's not that heavy at all.
Yeah,
you
but
underestimate who I am.
No,
I didn't stop them, put them down.
No, listen.
I was going to do that when I came back.
I did think stop them, put them down.
Why do you sound like Arnold Schwarzenegger had a stroke?
There's a problem with that, though.
Okay.
Because when you take it places, you have to remember this thing is oily. One of the chains for the locomotive, it drops down and is even with the guides on the wheels.
Yeah.
And the chain, the bike chain, and that is full of grease. So if you put this on the floor, like, and you're gonna put this in the hotel room, or where are you gonna store this? When the locomotive touches the ground, the entire hotel is carpet.
Well,
so it's gonna leave.
I don't think necessarily we have to put it on the ground. I could go out and pick up some furniture dollies, and I could get a piece of plywood, and I can screw the plywood down to the furniture dollies during the moving of it. And then when we're done, we can easily just unscrew the plywood off of it and throw it and put it back in the truck and haul it home. I've seen it done for like multiple things where people will take plywood, the carts, and they'll put the track on the cart and put the train on that or whatever they're going to display, just so it's easy to move. It doesn't have to actually go on the carpet. We just use furniture carts to move it around, so it doesn't actually have to go on the carpet. And as for any of the grease, well, I can pick up some what you would call it, gunk degreaser spray. You spray it in a rag and you just wipe down certain areas so that it looks clean, and then boom, done. Hey,
put them down.
Yeah, no. If you get your truck on it, that is, you know.
If I do, yeah, because I think people would love to see that.
Oh yeah, I know people will love to see that. When I took my engine to El Monte High School back when I was in high school, and I fired that thing up, people were blown away. Even before I fired it up, people were like, "What is this?" Yeah, yeah. If you could go to BabsCon, yeah, that would be cool. But you know, that's a very long shot, highly iffy.
Yeah, but
iffy whiffy.
Yeah, iffy whiffy, iffy sniffy. Stop sniffing. Why are you sniffing? Stop sniffing me!
Well, let's put it this way. Let's keep it as like on the idea board as like a what if sort of a thing.
Yes. In the words of what's that pony that took over Rarity's boutique in, what was it, season 5?
Sassy Saddle?
Sassy
yes.
Saddles, yeah.
Let's stick a pin in it.
Yeah. And, you know, figure if we can do it, great. If not, well, we'll figure something else out.
Yeah. So for now, let's stick a pin in it. Just like Sassy Saddles. And then if it doesn't work out, I'm going to fire you. Just like Sassy You're fired. You're fired. Then I'll rehire you because I am a very forgiving person. Just like Rarity.
Wait, what? Wait, you're not Buffers. You're not Mr. Krabs. This doesn't work. That's how any of this works.
That's it. I'm unfriending you.
No, I was never your friend to begin with.
Hey, Patrick, would you like a job starting now? Why would I? You're fired again. Oh.
He says, would you like a job starting now? Boy, would I? You're fired.
Oh.
No, this is Patrick.
Is this the Krusty Krab?
No.
I'm not a Krusty Krab. Patrick, that is the name of the restaurant.
So
Fish paste.
So So I also while I was away, I kind of overheard something about a two-parter doing something in the morning and then something in the afternoon.
Yeah, like afternoon or evening hours.
Yeah, there's something like that could work. I just don't. I just don't exactly know what you would call it. How the morning one would be.
Like this past year was what, like 9-10 o'clock was the podcast or the original panel.
Channel, yeah.
Yeah.
That could be like around the time frame of the starter one, and then the podcast one towards the 6 to 8 o'clock hours. Obviously, you're not going to want it too late because a lot of the younger kids are going to be going to sleep by then, and it'd be pretty cool to have a podcast where some of the younger audience present for.
Are you calling us kids, Ace? Well, I take offense to that. How dare you, sir?
In toddler's eyes, well,
Weenie Hut Junior. Anyway,
I think you guys want that place. Weenie Hut General, Super Weenie Hut General Junior, whatever.
Well,
you're a weeb.
Well, that could work. I still relatively think what should we call it? If we're gonna do the actual parlor car like later in the night or like in the afternoon, I think maybe a like a early like a 6 o'clock time or something like that, or maybe like a 6-7 o'clock time.
It really comes down to when BabsCon's schedule would allow for.
Yeah, it depends on what they give us, not because because that's how it worked out when I filled out the application. It's it's what they assigned us. That's how it was when I filled out the form for EQLA and for BabsCon.
I know one thing for fact, that if I have to, I will beg and cry and plead my way for it, is I hope that they don't schedule our meet and greet time for us during
Sunset Shimmer. Not with Sunset Shimmer. I want to meet Rebecca.
Yeah, not only with another meet and greet for, let's say, a guest of honor, but also during Nahheim, because I didn't get to go to that. I didn't get to go to that. I missed that.
I want to meet Rebecca.
Yeah, I never got a chance to experience the music event.
Let me tell you this much, and it shouldn't be a problem for you. A lot of people go for the banging concert. I've been to a number of rock concerts. Bring earplugs for your own hearing protection. Bring.
Yes,
I'm a stagehand by day. I know exactly what this stuff entails. I've heard some really loud, like misvolumed stuff before, so I'm used to it.
Long feedback loop. Shit, turn that line off. It's not supposed to be on yet.
Yeah. Now, the funny thing is if I could get a couple of my buddies from my union to go and volunteer and work that show, guarantee you'd be 10 times better. Because a lot of them are sound guys and lighting guys.
At this point, I don't know for sure. I don't think BabsCon hires from unions to do these setups. I could be mistaken. They don't.
But I remember for a fact that those guys that were there told me, yeah, just tell them, hey, you want to work with the equipment and setting up the stages, and they'll let you.
I mean,
that's
if
they told us,
then yeah.
Because essentially anybody could if you wanted to.
They let us do it. They said, "Hey, help us tear it down."
Yeah, remember? Like literally, me, my buddy Sal, and Mecha here. I mean, we went in there and helped them take apart the stage because they said that they were running out of time.
Yeah.
For being in the hotel, and they needed to get it all
well,
out.
They literally DJ. What was his name? God, I'm horrible with names lately. But one of the music artists came out. And he said, "Hey, if there's anybody that's willing to help us tear down the stage, come over here, let us know." And we immediately were like right at the door, like, "We'll go."
Yeah, and like hands down, because me and Sal, we know the name of like almost everything that people call things. In fact, there's these little tiny clamps that they're bolted together, and they have two clamps on each side, and they clip together like C clips in a way. And those are called cheeseburgers. I kid you not, they're literally called cheeseburgers. And those are what hold truss together, or like lighting pipes or stuff to truss. And yeah, and figured the guy was like, he had to do a double take because he was like, wait, what? Like, you guys know what you're doing, don't you? And we're like, yeah.
The ones that look similar to U-bolts?
No, U-bolts are completely different. I'll send you a picture of it after the podcast. But yeah, I figured that this guy was all like, holy cow, you guys actually know what you're doing. And they wanted us to stay longer, but we had to go out. We had to go out for food because it was late.
Yeah.
But I guarantee you, if we didn't, I probably would have stayed for the entire teardown of the entire thing.
Yeah.
And they would have loved you to pieces. They would have loved you.
They already loved us to pieces anyway. They were gonna invite us to the staff party. For the last night to signify a successful con, but I had to turn it down.
Yeah.
But I guarantee you, I probably would have stayed for the whole thing, out of spite, just out of sheer respect and love for the con and its staff. And yeah. I mean, I don't even have to here to do voluntary work. I'll just do it. You don't have to ask me twice. Oh, you want me to do that for you? Yeah, sure thing.
Make me a bowl of soup.
I won't do that though. Not for you.
Scratch my belly.
I know you. You can do it yourself.
Read me a bedtime story, Daddy.
No. Once there was an ugly barnacle. He was so ugly, everyone died. The end.
That didn't help at all.
Anyway, but yeah, so that happened.
Yeah.
Anyway. Oh, hey Mecha, do you want to do a small announcement about the about High Octane and
the other thing?
And AR?
Okay. Well, as you guys know, we've been working on the High Octane project for a while now. We do have some principal photography done. Still need to piece more of that together, but we're starting to get our first episode done. And we're having a new podcast that we're starting to throw together for all you automotive fans. I'm going to call it the Automotive Roundtable. And it's just going to be, talking about daily drivers and stuff like that. Nothing as in depth as what High Octane is going to be, but just basically everyday talk about your car, traffic, driving,
experiences.
Experiences, nonsense, and it'd be interesting.
Yeah. Now,
It's a little something for the everyday Joe, so to speak.
Yeah. Now we're slowly working on a scheduled time for that podcast. We had the idea of doing it on the off weekends from the of the parlor car. So figure after the parlor car one Sunday, the next Sunday would be the automotive roundtable, and then after that it'd be parlor car again, and so on and so forth. I guess in a sense it kind of helps with keeping the time frame for the parlor car intact, so that way we don't accidentally do it a week too early or a week later than it should. So I guess
I mean, mind you, schedules are still subject to change and alter depending on things that are going on, like conventions and stuff like that.
Yeah. The other thing is that we're debating about setting up an entirely separate channel simply for the car stuff, just so that it doesn't get confused on the actual RRB YouTube channel, because obviously that's for trains. But figure we'll probably post a teaser and like a teaser video on the RRB channel, announcing it officially, and then having it redirect people for that to the other one.
Yeah.
But yeah, but there's a few things we got to do. In fact, Gary, question for you.
Yeah.
Do you think you could help me and Mecha make a
sure, fine, whatever, fine, I'll do
it. He doesn't even have to ask. Yeah, I need a logo.
Yeah.
What kind?
I don't know, but all I know is I will pay you in LENINADE.
You need a logo. What kind of logo?
A logo? I don't know.
What type are we talking about? Are we talking a real one? Are we talking a picture?
We're talking picture.
Okay, good, because I can't get you a real one. You already have one in your backyard. That's where we do the special parlor car podcasts from. The one in your backyard, remember?
Oh God.
Yeah, but those are special. We don't talk about those.
Those are a few steel wheels short of a full truck.
Yeah, those are special. Those are very special. We don't talk about those.
But yeah, if you'd be willing to get together with me and John and then spitball some ideas down, I mean,
yeah, sure.
Cool.
Hey, are you coming over for Halloween?
What day is that? Wednesday?
Yes, if you come over on Wednesday, I can help you with that.
I won't be available.
Yeah, John won't be available, but I could probably tell you a little bit of my idea, and then figure maybe we could get together with you. Oh yeah, that's right. You're gonna be busy Saturday, Mecha. Well, we'll figure it out.
Figure it out.
But yeah, I expect those coming up.
Yeah, coming up by you. that got very, you know, I am very timid.
Awkward at the end.
Yeah.
Awkward.
You got very sweaty. You got very sweaty armpits all of a sudden. It was very awkward.
Krabs, you're getting all sweaty again.
Yeah, Mr. Krabs. Can you feel it, Mr. Krabs? Can you feel it, Mr. Krabs? Can you feel it, Mr. Krabs?
Can you Feel it now, Mr. Krabs. God. What else? Oh right. What you call it? Oh yeah, what you call it? On
Project?
November. Oh yeah, project wise, that's what I wanted to talk about. I guess for me, project wise, I haven't have anything to do with train right now. But my most current project is obviously the truck. But I think I'll save that for the automotive roundtable, actually.
Yeah.
Which reminds me, Ace, you love motorcycles, so you are more than welcome to come on there.
I don't do as much in the mechanical way, but I'll talk bikes.
Yeah, it's sort of like a free for all. Like I said, it's a round table, so whatever you got to bring to the table, bring it.
All right. Put my my phone right behind my awesome.
Because figure, being that we got two car guys, a guy who drives a small car and a guy who drives big cars, we also need somebody who drives a bike and has a different view from the guys who drive in the big and small car. So,
well, prefer the slow cruiser life over the ridiculous 200-mile-an-hour plus life. Yeah, I'll
get your motor.
Yeah, I mean, it's a little bit of everything. Any kind of road going experiences you have, driving tips, complaining about traffic,
Don't get started on the complaining part. I'm not gonna stop.
Well, that's why we have it.
Yeah.
But no, figure if I have to list a project right now, I would have to say my other project is my project gaming PC, which has been sitting still for like 3 years now. Like literally, it's been like such a slow build that it's like a whole 2 generations of like Intel processors behind now.
Yeah, everything's already obsolete.
Yeah, everything's already obsolete. I blame the VRAM market because that put a big damper on video cards and RAM availability, and that's what stopped me in my tracks.
Yeah.
But thankfully prices went down, so I should be able to get the RAM that I want. Figure this much: it's not a whatchamacallit board. It's not like the X300 or X400. It's like it takes only the 4 sticks of RAM, so it's a smaller midway. But there's a RAM kit from Ripjaw that gives you 4 sticks of RAM, totaling up to 64 gigs of RAM for 4 sticks. And I was gonna buy that kit and stick it in there. That way I have all the processing power in the world. Because I love multitasking. We all know that.
Well, then, boy, do I have a task for you to try and take on. And this project idea, I think is something that could almost be for all the railroad bronies. But it starts with 2 questions. Gary.
What?
1, what all locomotives tend to be at the LA Live Steamers event? Just steam locomotives or an assortment of other various motive power locomotives?
Around 50-50 sometimes. It's at the meets, it's usually more steam than diesel.
But there will be non-steam operated locomotives there from time to time?
Yeah.
All right.
From time to time.
All right. And 2, for those chassis, are they usually forged or frame builds? Any ideas?
Forged, because they're steel. They're all machined.
It is a steel machined frame.
Yeah, it's a machined frame. They are castings.
So each of them would need to be custom cast, custom ordered, basically.
Yeah, because all locomotives, though most of them are actually based off of the
real life counterpart.
Yeah, real life. Well, some of the engines are made from castings from a company such as like Little Engines. The live steam castings that Little Engines produces are from the Southern Pacific. So all the engines from the Southern Pacific, all those blueprints, they're all the same castings, all the same measurements, everything's the same. So all the castings for the Pacific that Little Engines produces are castings and pieces from the Southern Pacific. So, like, if you want to make a Pacific, you're going to get a Southern Pacific steam engine if you build it, even though you slap maybe Missouri Pacific or maybe Canadian or Rio Grande on it or something like that. It's going to be a Southern Pacific engine that you get or something like that.
I ask about the frame because the idea that I have in mind, and actually Steam Tank is kind of the one behind this one from this past week.
Oh, no.
You may know where I'm going with it.
No.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yes. You started this. I'm keeping it going.
Oh, no.
I'm not looking at a casting. The idea isn't for a casting for a steam locomotive. It's for a diesel frame. Okay. Alco S2.
That exists.
If we can get the frame and we can get the trucks via the right system, and this is where Steam Tank thought, oh, yeah, we'll do a pneumatic. No, I think we can do it better. Small generator powers a hydraulic unit, hydraulic pump. Hydraulic pump drives 2 hydraulic motors, 1 for each truck. There you go. You have a diesel hydraulic unit.
I've seen those in diesel, in live steam, 7.5-inch gauge. Alco S2 diesel.
The classic Ford.
Yeah, I've seen them.
You want to know something funny? The best part about having a hydraulic locomotive is you don't need to rely on air brakes.
Yeah, that was going to be the other thing I ask is what is the braking systems for 7.5 inch? I've never actually looked into it.
Well, some of them, yeah. Some of them
or manual brake. But figure with the hydraulic pump, since it's spinning and constantly having fluid move, all you would have to do is have it so it cycles through a reservoir and hook a pump up, hook like a hand lever or something into it, or something like a pneumatic actuator to allow fluid through and back through, and you can easily just brake the locomotive via hydraulic fluid. Kind of like how some old trucks have hydraulic braking.
Yeah, the company that does that is Roll Models. Roll Models does a 2.5-inch scale a narrow gauge, and their locomotives has that.
Yeah.
Like on steam engines in live steam engines actually have steam brakes. So the real steam brakes that actually are powered by steam and stop the train and clamp onto the driver wheels. And some steam engines actually have steam powered air pumps that actually pump air for the brakes.
Are there for the cars though, or is it just for the engines?
For the cars. So they actually do have air brakes on the trains that go the entire length of the train. So when you actually, if you look deep enough, there are some people that actually do model the unique mechanisms. Like they actually scale down a fully functional pump or something like that. They scale it down so it's actually fully functional. But most of the time, if they want like air brakes or something like that, they'll just get an actual compressor and put it inside a riding car or something like that so they can actually have air brakes.
All right. It's still a lot of the little bits and pieces to work through, but again, it comes down to the idea of if we can get a frame in the trucks, the Railroad Bronies could almost make a Railroad Bronies diesel in 7.5-inch.
Yeah, there's no real wrong way to do it. You just have to do it. That's with anything. You just have to start doing it. There's no real guidelines. You just make it your own. You don't need to follow any.
And that's the tricky part, is that first frame is getting everything up and running, and I have no idea where to try and look for something like.
Just
that's what I wanted to bring to the table as a potential big long project idea.
No, just get some wheels and make an electric model of the MLP steam engine and get a smoke unit and put it in the stack and use the mega steam that's scented and smells like bacon. Yeah, that'd be really good.
The stuff that we almost got in trouble for using at BabsCon this past.
Gotta love that scented bacon, especially during the breakfast time, because then they don't know what's going on.
Well, when they see little puffs of smoke coming up off the table, even if it's just fake smoke, and they go, "Wait a second."
Well, I remember they got all paranoid because they're like, "Oh, they're gonna get excited with asthmatics," and I'm like, "It's paraffin oil." Jesus.
Yeah, it's candle wax.
Effectively, yes.
Yeah, it's the same stuff.
Because the liquid vapor, it's water vapor that can't really evaporate. Because I've taken smoke units apart. I've been doing that recently, and the way a smoke unit actually works is
the heat
electrical coil.
Yeah, it doesn't really
like a light bulb.
Yeah, it's not really.
So in a way, it's actual steam that's coming out of there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, then again, if you water vapor, it could work. In theory, maybe.
You're gonna go try that, aren't you? On like a junk engine.
Maybe I don't know. I'd have to get. If I would do it, I would order a fan-driven smoke unit, give it power, and have somebody.
If you're gonna do that, use distilled water, so that way, if it does go on the track, it doesn't spark.
No, don't even use the. You can get a fan-driven smoke unit. You don't even have to put it inside the locomotive. There are 2 wires. No, it's not even a wire. It's a plug. Plug it in, and you strip the ends of the wire off, and you plug it into a power source, and you can actually just test it while it's not in the train. So, yeah, I know this guy. I've been playing with trains way too much. I have way too much free time on my hands if I'm taking apart trains and figuring out how they work.
You sure need to be careful, because it's that sort of free time that made me understand how cars, computers, and trains work.
Yeah.
Pretty soon you're gonna end up like me, how you just have all this knowledge and you're like, what am I gonna do with it?
Anyway, how's everybody doing tonight? Everybody good?
I'm now more excited than ever to try and start finding pieces to make an S2 out of no other reason than, you know what? If I'm not going to be able to drive a train in one way, I'll drive a train in another.
There you go.
Motivation.
Build the MLP train. Somebody build the MLP train. I will pay you money. I'll pay you $1. No. I'll pay you in scrolls, like in Gravity Falls with Mabel. Do you accept scrolls as payment? With Love God, well, Mabel takes the love potion from Love God. I remember that episode. That was really good. Does anybody watch Gravity Falls? Remember? Do you guys remember that episode? Anybody? Come on, that was a good series. Bill Cipher, people. We'll meet again. I don't know when. Something again. Some sunny day. Hey, Mecha, are you yawning? Are you tired by me? I am insulted. How dare you?
How about that?
Take that back.
I will not accept squirrels. Instead, I will accept caps. As long as there is a bottle still attached to it.
What is this, Fallout? This is Fallout.
Hey, careful what you wish for, because I got like a 5-gallon bucket full of bottle caps.
You missed the latter part. Bottle caps with the bottle full still attached to it.
Oh, I have that. I have that too.
My prices are steep. Come talk later. Coin Kajita where?
That comes late.
Actually, I was actually thinking because figure this much. If we wanted like steel in some way, what we could do is we could easily go to like let's say like a junkyard, find like maybe like an industrial flatbed of a truck, and then cut the diamond plate off of it, or whatever steel that's on it. Plasma cut it to the size we want, and then just weld on other pieces. And do it that way.
To make an MLP train?
Yes.
Yeah, for the starting frame, because you got to have a flat frame to support everything.
As long as I could figure out all the hydraulics and all that stuff, it sounds like we have a challenge then.
If you want, Ace, if you
John?
want. What? John?
Is he
What?
still
He's alive. He's alive.
F2. Steam and Gary, they'll work on that little MLP train. We'll see who comes out first. Fake steam or diesel hydraulic.
I know the hydraulic aspect might be a bit expensive, but it'd be the most coolest thing ever.
And honestly, I was doing the research on this. I can see now why Alstom started releasing those new European units in diesel hydraulic. It's more efficient than electric. It really is. More than diesel. And let's be honest, the whine of a hydraulic unit sounds a lot more beefy than just some electrical whine.
Well, figure this much. The whine from a hydraulic pump as it's running, it sounds like a screaming supercharger under load. It honestly does.
Because the little diesel generators I've looked at are all naturally aspirated, not turbocharged. Half considering trying to find some sort of mini turbo to throw in the exhaust stack just to get the turbo.
You can find cheap Honda turbos online for like $100.
Something that I could strap to the exhaust port of a diesel generator just to get the turbo on.
Yeah.
Good, because I don't think I'm going to be able to hook up a turbocharger, even micro size, to a diesel generator without blowing that sucker to kingdom. Anyway.
I'll be right back.
Well, you just left earlier. How could you leave us? He doesn't love us anymore, people. He doesn't love us anymore.
So, yeah, I mean, if I could get the frame and everything really rocking and rolling, I would think if we could each do like little bits and pieces of some sort, it'd be a real cool full group project to be able to say, yeah, you have your Clyde Shay, and the rest of the group has this small hydraulic diesel unit.
Yeah.
I mean, it all comes down to how big the thing is, but I could probably lay down the seats in the Jeep and throw it in the back if I absolutely need it.
And sounds like we're getting to the dead air point. All right, so build the truck. My crazy idea to try and build an S2 or an S4 from the ground up, depending on where I can find the trucks and what all I can find. We have the cliche still in action. John, what do you got for us?
Oh boy, I don't know. I haven't really had any ideas as of late for a project. Most of my stuff has just been shows and podcast ideas.
Oh, I've got a project for you. It's a perfect project. It's really easy and it lasts about 45 minutes. And Gary, this will go for you too.
Okay.
Go watch the Christmas special.
Okay, I'll be right back. I'll see you in a bit.
But yeah, I mean, we'll all have those little things. The Christmas special, if anybody who's listening hasn't seen it so far, I do not like shilling out to people. Equestria Daily does have the link, however, so if you want to check it out, absolutely do so. The team put in a really good amount of effort and made this one really, really special. It kind of hit a special place in my heart for part of it, but that's neither here nor there. So definitely go check that out. Our last little new thingy until we get into season 9. And with that being said, I think we've been kind of skirting on the whole idea this whole time, but we slide right into Tipsy Hour or whatever it was called. So,
call it the Drunken Stupors.
There you go. Who wants to do drunken comedy first? And I don't mean more quoting Bill Wirtz. Gnoosh.
Gnoosh. That's a human person.
Which can mean a variety of things.
Yes.
It's a matcha hoppet. Mapajahit. Matcha pa hit.
Ding.
Spices.
And well, who's that bound corner? That's the Tamil Kings. Nobody messes with the Tamil Kings. We're the Tamil Kings. Merchants probably, and they've got spices.
Or there are these guys in the north, or north if you don't have much time. They go north to the northern north. They find 2 lands and name them accordingly. And Christopher, Spanish government. Hey, can you pay me in this new world? No, please, no, please, no, please, no, please. Oh.
Try it. No, said everyone else. Try it. No, said everyone else. Quieter the first time.
Try this new religion, he said. No, said everyone. Try it, he said again. No, said everyone, a little bit quieter. And so the religion was put into place, and with it, all the rules.
Yeah.
Nice going, Genghis.
Nice going, Genghis. I hope that can last a really long time. Crash.
I tried to watch the MLP Christmas thing, but it was too long, so I came back.
Yeah, it's 45 minutes. Knock, knock. United States, with huge boats, with guns, gunboats. Open the country, said the United States. Stop having it be closed. There really wasn't anything to happen to do, so they let the Russians, Britons, and the United States now ever they wanted.
Mm-hmm.
Stop having it be closed.
Well, guys, I think we're going to have to wrap it up here, right?
Yeah, I think we're waiting for the group lead who was the reason the podcast was delayed in getting started in the first place. Yeah. And when back around, yeah, we'll do the final wrap-ups of whatnot.
No, look at the message on Discord. He sent us a message. We have to wrap it up.
Okay.
Do we know how to stop the stream?
No, we don't. He has to do that.
We'll end it. Well, we'll wrap it up. I'll wrap it up. Okay, I'll end it. So, you guys have any final thoughts before I close this podcast out?
No, I don't think so.
No, I think we're good.
Okay, you guys good?
We are good.
Okay. Well, ladies and gentlemen. All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for coming out to the Parlor podcast. We're gonna have to wrap this up. So, until next time, my name is Garibalde, and we have with me Ace the Random, a Mecha Flyer,
yeah,
and Steam Tank, who is with us in spirit, or he's here in spirit with us. Good night, everybody. We love you all, and we love you.